So I messed up. I goofed. Screwed the pooch. Maybe not that far. But anyway, I made a mistake, and I'm going to tell you about it next. Stay tuned. Hello to all my friends out there in YouTube land. It is your good buddy Philtastic Phil here, and I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. So as I said, I made a mistake recently. Actually, not too recently. That's kind of the mistake. Regarding an independent comic that I'm going to tell you about today. Two of them, really, and a CD as well, but we'll get into that in a moment. So when I started this channel a little over a year ago, a friend of mine actually reached out, somebody I hadn't talked to in a while, and said, hey, you know, I know a guy who makes a comic. Would you be interested in taking a look at it? So I said, yeah, sure. He sent me the comic, and I was all set to do a whole big read on it, and I wanted to reach out first to the artist and to the writer, and life happened. Things got in the way. It happens. And I put these comics aside, and I forgot about them until today. So, even though this is long overdue at this point, I'm going to show you two comics from a company by the name of Dummie Comics Incorporated, from a person by the name of Befree. Let's just jump into this here. So the first one is Fight with Time, featuring Lifelong, L.I.F.E, long. Now, from what the person who gave me these comics was nice enough to beg and board them and send them, told me is that this Befree is actually a rap act, and this book is kind of meant to work in tandem with the CD he included. Now, he was nice enough to include the CD. Problem I run into is that I really don't have a CD player right now. I didn't realize that, to be honest with you, which is a bummer because I do have a lot of CDs. It's just I've been home, so I haven't really used the CD player, just kind of streamed. I would say if you're interested in checking out this music from Befree, you can go ahead and search on the internet. I did find that they have a page on Bandcamp, and I did reach out to Dummie Comics, by the way. I'm going to include a link where you can find their comics and all information about the company as well. So jumping right into it again, this is Fight with Time featuring Lifelong. Right off the bat, I have to say, the paper quality, and this looks like it was printed in 2020, but the paper quality, I think, is better than what you would see from a Marvel comic at this point in time. It's kind of reminiscent of the cardstock that DC charges extra for on the Batman books, but good start. It's black and white, very crisp, clean lines. There you go. And it says here too. Okay, so if you want to look up the song, it's based on the song "Fight with Time" by Ned Schimmelfini. Okay, I'm gonna put the information in the details, and Lifelong. So right off the bat, very kind of eye-capturing image. Black and white, again, very clean. Very kind of well done. It kind of, I'm trying to see what it kind of reminds me of. I can't quite put my finger on it. So the words itself, it looks like they're the lyrics to the song. I'm going to read a little bit. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you because if you're interested, of course, I want you to go and buy it and support these guys. Dreams, capes, through time, portholes as my mind travels. Visions of unheard start to unravel. Witness lost, parables of the visionary, untold scene uncovered within dreams. I kind of, I don't have the CD player. I have the CD. I haven't heard the song, but right off the bat, just kind of the way it's structured, more of like a poem. It's kind of reminiscent in that way of something you may have heard. I don't want to say in Sandman. I know that some of the other chapters, not the main story, have kind of more of a poetic way of going about it. Maybe to a lesser extent, if you read any of the Angela Asgard's Assassins series, both during and after Secret War, and that was kind of well done there. It was like reading a piece of literature, and I'm kind of approaching this right now, just on my own, as like reading a poem. Chapter 1, day started. Late as I awake, 8:15, unaware of what awaits. Stir early I rise, spark now baked, days still focused, but unfocused of my fate. Not knowing this would soon be an extraordinary date, so I proceeded to leave to start my destination. And again, just very, very clean artwork here. It's getting a little bit more like visually interesting and visually complex and stunning. I mean, he's definitely got the look and the feel of being at the subway. Maybe, I mean, to be honest, living in New Jersey, of course, I've been on the trains and subways before going to the city, so it does look cleaner. Why don't we say that? But yeah, definitely very clean look, very good look. So I didn't even turn the page yet, and I just wanted to point out there's this really, really good little, I don't want to say panel or exchange here. And I'll turn this around to show you in a moment. I move my pace up in the rat race. Can't miss my movement. Can't miss my moment. Rushing past my opponent. I don't know if these words are really just kind of smaller, the font, or maybe I need glasses. But I'll go back here again. I move my pace up in the rat race. Can't miss my moment. Rushing past my opponent. And then the next panel, it's just an exchange between him and another guy. I don't know if he knows him or not. The other guy's, what did you... Wait, did you just say your opponent? Yes, enemy. Ah, and I even know it, poet. Who's that? So I just kind of like that because you do have that kind of feeling of a morning commute. You know, even if you're driving in, it's almost like you're in competition with the people in the lane next to you or in front of you or behind you to get there. These are the panels I'm talking about. And this is early in the book. I'm not very far into it at all yet. Okay, I might just kind of jump around a little bit just to keep things moving here, and I'm going to just point out anything interesting. This is, I'm not going to read it directly. Again, I want you to buy this and look at this, especially if you're interested. But this is really cool. You just went from that into juxtaposing the whole idea we were just talking about of arch enemy and villain and, you know, people you're commuting with basically with death and time, and that's really, really well done. And he's got a very striking image I'm going to show you in just a moment. Yeah, let me show this. It looks like something out of like an Iron Maiden album cover, or if you saw the video back in the day from Pearl Jam's, can't think of the song name now. It's the one Todd McFarlane animated. There's an image of a skull laughing in a jet plane, and it's kind of very reminiscent of that. But yeah, very frightening and very cool. I like that panel a lot. The art remains very clean. You know, I like a good just kind of black and white. There are some parts just with the flaming and the effects that I think pulls away from it. Personally, again, just my opinion. But it works. It definitely works, and it flows well. I don't know if it's almost at the end of the story, but there's a really good wrap-up here, kind of after this fight with that little creature I was showing you, the character rather I was showing you. I'm not going to show the panels, but it wraps it up really, really well. I like that a lot. So that was the first one here, the first comic here. Again, that's Fight with Time featuring Lifelong. And again, this is meant to coincide with the song. I have the CD, I don't have a means to play it, so I'm not commenting on the song at all. Just the book itself, I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. Flows very, very well. Again, the visuals are very good as well. Yeah, I would read more of that in a minute. You know, I'm kind of wondering if the artist and the writer did this with each song on the CD, because to be honest with you, I think this would be really strong if they were all collected in like an anthology. But yeah, this is definitely a good start. So now this next one is from the same company, Dummie Comics Inc. Befree again. Befree presents Bellyflop featuring Skeerap. And right off the top, the cover's very, very interesting, very cool. I like the kind of newsprint effects for the shadows. it kind of looks like, let me get the board off so I don't gloss over anything like a, I don't know, glossy guy. It kind of reminds me of cover to like a GTA game, like a Grand Theft Auto game. And this is the, just on the back of it, this is the CD that the person who sent it to me was nice enough to include. I do need to get a CD player, but when I do, maybe this will be one of the first things I listen to. So jumping right into it. And it says it's based on the song again. Song Bellyflop, written by Skeerap, by Ned Shimminglefini. I'm sorry, Ned, if I keep messing up your name. Again, look in the details of the video, the description of the video. Yeah, starts with another really kind of striking visual here. I don't know how I feel about the gray tone, to be honest with you, in this spot. And I don't want to sound like I'm nitpicking. Maybe it would have been stronger for me if it was just straight black and white. But I like it. It's very striking. I like the way they have the glass breaks. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the John Romita Jr. kind of glass breaking that you may have seen in like the 90s Punisher comics. To a lesser degree, maybe like a Sin City. But I'm glad that they didn't do just a straight Sin City style, because it would have been really easy just to, I think, not confuse the two, but just lump the two together. And again, it does seem like it's written in the same thing. It's like a song. It almost reads like a poem, and that's the way I'm approaching it here too. This one, I'll turn and I'll show you in a moment. It's more of, I feel like, a literal. Well, yeah. You know what? Let me hold off just a couple more pages before I make that call. Just a couple pages in, what I was about to say before, whereas Fight with Time was more of like a, I don't want to say trippy, but you got to a certain point where there was an element where it wasn't based in reality, where he was fighting this death or time kind of figure. Here, it's more literal. Like, I haven't seen anything that's outside of reality at this point. It looks like it's in an urban area, like in a city, you're dealing with some crime. And that so far that's what works best. I should say this for that. That's what works best for this song. Whereas the other one, I could definitely see where it would be more appropriate. The artist, and I have to see if it's the same one, is very good at making it making the figures very expressive. Some of the landscapes in here are just beautifully done, very crisp. I'm going to show this panel to you right now. I'm assuming this is either the GWB or the Brooklyn Bridge. Just make sure I have it on there. Very crisp, very, very well done. You can tell a lot of time and a lot of effort went into this, and that pays off. I also feel like, again, I got to check to see if this is the same artist or not. I feel like some of these pictures are a lot more detailed, and again, it works for this story. And the action in it is very, again, I don't want to spoil anything. It's very fluid, very well done. It's not something that you would see in a comic, as far as how the action is portrayed. It feels more like something out of an action movie. Like I could see this one kind of leap this guy just did from a tree, something out of like a Van Damme movie, like when Van Damme was good. I mean that as a compliment. Yeah, these visuals are, wow. Just the amount of line work alone that went into this. I mean, you could tell. Really great, really great. Here, I'm going to just show you a little peek. I'm trying not to show too much, but look at that. Awesome. It does end kind of suddenly. I'll say this is definitely grittier than Fight with Time. And it's a totally different tone. This is more of a crime-based story, I'd say. Yeah, at the beginning, when I started looking at this, I said GTA, Grand Theft Auto kind of vibe just from the cover, and really the story kind of fits that vibe a little bit too. It's very well done. You could see that there's a lot of time that went into this artwork, and that alone is good, especially for an independent book like this. And as I said, I do have a second copy of this, so this is what I'm going to do. If first, if you like what you saw here today, go to the link I'm going to have in the details here, the description of the video. Buy something from them. If you legitimately want this copy, this is my second copy of Bellyflop. Comment, let me know. I'll give you a week and pick one. If anything, then I'm going to turn around and maybe I'll put this in my CBCA awards donation box, some things I'm giving to CBCA for the awards. But again, that is from Befree presents Bellyflop featuring Skeerap and Fight with Time featuring Lifelong, L.I.F.E. long, both from Dummie Comics Inc. Definitely check them out. You know, you're not going to get a big, robust type of story like you would off of something that you're going to pick off, you know, at your local comic book shop. But you know what? That's good in this case. You need a little variety, I think. You know, if you're just reading all straight superhero comics, what do you? You're not expanding yourself. And look, if that's what you generally like, that's fine. But give these guys a shot. Definitely a different type of story. Very well done. I'd really like to see if everything was kind of collected into an anthology or something like that. And again, if you're into rap music, I would say check both these guys out online as well. Well, that was my mini review here of Bellyflop and Fight Against Time. I hope that you enjoyed this little discussion. If this is your first time visiting the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe, thumbs up, and comment. And as always, thanks again for watching this channel. I appreciate you doing so, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace, love, and comics. Take care.